previously on Jack's Spade files. Susan hires Jack to investigate her husband, but they both witness a crime deal go bad, and Susan's husband gets murdered. Can Jack find answers at Club 34 from a mysterious woman named Emily? And now, the thrilling conclusion. Susan and I entered Club 34 at exactly 1:43 in the morning. The nightlife of the city was at its peak now, so the club was thriving. Swinging sultry jazz tunes filled the air almost as much as the cigarette smoke did. But unlike music, I could breathe smoke. "Jack, are you all right?" asked Susan. I was coughing profusely, and fell to the floor in a faint. "Oh dear God," I yelled, "help. Help someone please. What have we here?" A voice broke out above me as I writhed on the ground. I looked up and saw a woman's face. "Can I help you?" she asked, and held out a hand. I took it and got to my feet. The woman barely had any clothes on, and was eyeing Susan and I with curiosity. "We're looking for someone," said Susan. "Is there an Emily that comes here frequently?" "I would think so," said the woman. "I do work here after all." "You're Emily?" I asked. "Are you a prostitute?" "I perform erotically charged dances up on stage," she said. "I'm actually about to go on. Care to stick around? I'll answer any questions you might have afterward." "Sure," I said. "Go break a leg and maybe even your brass traps if you feel inclined." Susan and I walked through the club and found some seats. Time for a show. "Good evening, everyone," said Emily from on stage. The mumbling of the crowd died down and everyone listened to what this tramp had to say. "Before I begin," she continued, "let's get some music that is a little more club-friendly." "Hell yes," I said, "sick beats." "This bass is giving me a headache," said Susan. "Shut up and dance with me," I said, taking to the floor. "Pump it up. Turn up. Get it, yeah. Yay. You're. Whoa." Susan wasn't interested, and remained in her seat. Her loss. Eventually the music died and Emily's raunchy sex moves did as well. "Thank you," she said to the crowd. "I'll see you all tomorrow." She disappeared into the curtain at the back of the stage, and I returned to Susan. "Wow," I said, sitting down and catching my breath. "Did you see me out there? At first glance it was a dance, but give it a chance it becomes romance." "What?" Susan said. "What did you think?" asked Emily, walking up to the table. "Was I any good?" "Good?" I said. "You danced so well that I forgot for a moment that you were a prostitute." "You said you might be able to answer some of our questions," said Susan. "Of course," said Emily, sitting next to us. "What's up, Buttercup?" "Well," I said, "firstly, what's your brass eyes?" "Jack, please," said Susan. "My husband was killed in front of me 20 minutes ago and you're acting like an ass." "Whoa, what?" Emily exclaimed. "Your husband? In front of you? Oh, my dear. I'm so sorry." "Answer the damn question," I said. Emily glared at me, and then said, 36 FU. "Sorry," I said, "I've had an exceptionally long evening." "It's fine," said Emily, "but my dear, please explain what's going on." "It's a long story," I said. But if you go on YouTube, there are 3 videos that could explain it perfectly. Wow, I didn't realize that your situation was this dire. Emily leaned back in her office chair, and spun to face us. You want to know about the necklace, yes? Absolutely, Susan said, handing Emily the piece of jewelry from across the stage dancer's desk. I gave this to Sam a few months ago, said Emily. It was like a thank you. A thank you for what? I asked. He got me out of a bit of trouble, she said, holding the necklace tightly. I was up high with some horrible people and he talked me down. What people? Asked Susan. Drug dealers, said Emily. They bring it in from overseas and distribute it here in town. I'd actually peddle some to customers here at the club. Did everyone run out of money because they were Brokeaine from the cocaine? I asked. Emily ignored me and continued. It was a lucrative business venture. But there was a man I was falling for. And he was no good. So Sam convinced me to leave that life. In return, I gave him the necklace. You're lying, said Susan, eyeing Emily with intensity I hadn't seen since Vietnam. I wasn't actually ever in Vietnam, but I once saw a guy stare really hard at the ingredients list on a bottle of orange juice while the Vietnam War was happening. And Susan had the same ferocity to her gaze as that man did in the grocery store that one day. I'm not, said Emily. Why would I lie to you two? Something horrible has happened tonight, and I couldn't hold the truth from you at a time like this. You slept with my husband, yelled Susan. Chill out, I whimpered. Susan stood and stormed out of the office. No, wait, don't go, I yelled. I ran after her, through the club, and into the night. She was hailing a taxi. Where are you going? I asked. Home, she said, as a yellow car pulled up next to the curb. I can't do this anymore, Jack. Not tonight. I'll call you tomorrow. But no, Jack. She interrupted me by placing her index finger on my lip. Tomorrow, she said, and then got into the taxi. I watched her ride off, and the only thing I could think was, hooray, she's finally freaking gone, oh my gosh, wow. I turned and re-entered the club. Time to finally get to some solo detective work. Back inside, I made my way back to Emily's office. She was standing at a side table, pouring drinks. What will ya have, cowboy? She asked. Scotch on the ice, I said. Don't you mean on the rocks? She asked. What? I said. Who the hell drinks scotch with rocks? Fred Flintstone, that's who. Your jokes are incredible, said Emily, but your detective skills need some work. Whatever, I said, taking the glass from Emily. Thanks for the hard alcohol with frozen water cubes. Now, where were we? Emily sat back in her chair. We were talking about Sam, and the necklace, she said. Did you really sleep with him? I asked. Emily hung her head. I didn't want to say while Susan was angry. But yes. I did. Twice. Scandalous, I said, sipping the scotch. But don't worry about Susan. She didn't love Sam anymore. It was just the shock of seeing him killed that made her so sensitive tonight. It's understandable, said Emily, drinking from her glass, but I do regret it. I knew he was married. I had no right belching to the dosh bar Indigo Woo Town. What? I asked. I don't think I understood what you just said. Boo County for burgers into Look Jack, I know it's ready together at West Green. Oh no, oh. My vision was blurring and Emily started to look like a large blob. I leaned forward, my feet unsteady. What have you done, you filthy whore? I shouted as loud as I could. I tried standing, but I buckled and fell to the ground. Blackness overtook me, and I lay motionless on the floor of Emily's office.